TREBLE Audio has been really well known for such quite some time because they are a sister company from a also well famous brand, the KEEPHIFI, but this TREBLE brand is more on the mid-end budget while the KEEPHIFI is more on the lower end budget. And they have released some of the really good IMs such the 3i3 and also the 3-star-C. But hello and welcome to AfterSound Review, and this is my review for one of their latest product, which is the 3 Meteor. First of all, thank you for KEEPHIFI for providing me with this review unit, and this 3 Meteor costs around $109, and they are using a single dynamic driver and a single balancer Meteor. And just like usual, I will break down this review from the build, fit, frequency response, sound, and comparison. Well, the build quality of this 3 Meteor itself is actually mediocre, but they looks damn good. You can see that it's all made of resin. Yeah, it's not that special, but for me, the faceplate looks beautiful with this white and black with some sparkle or swirl on it. It's all made of resin, so for me it's not really good or really bad either. It's just the normal quality of an IM at this price point, and they are using 2-pin connectors, but the cable, I like the cable. It's braided, it's very flexible and non-microphonics, and it's all black with this 3 logo on the jack. When it comes to ergonomics, I know this is quite subjective from people to people, depends on your ear shape, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you that this 3 Meteor is simply perfect. It just fits really well in my ears, and I could simply wear them for hours. And even the cable is really ergonomics. It's flexible, it's not heavy, and it's very flexible. When it comes to frequency response, I should say that this is simply a warm, bassy IM. You can see that the bass reaching deep with excellent extension, and also the mid-range is fairly balanced, but after that the treble is quite rolled off. But the 8K resonance peak, here it's only a resonance peak. When it comes to the sound, I'm using my Ibeso DX160 as my primary source, and for me, even though you are using your phone, it's no problem to drive them with good capabilities. So for me, they are quite easy to drive and really easy to enjoy because they have a really good bass response, and they have this kind of wow effect in the bass, and I think that's the main star of this IM. The tonal balance overall, I could simply say that they are warm. The main focus of the frequency is mostly on the bass and also the mid-range warmth, so yeah, it's kind of soothing and relaxing sometimes, but it's still quite energetic, especially in the bass area. The bass is definitely the star of this IM. It has this kind of subwoofer effect, so it's kind of somehow a little bit detached from the mid-range to treble area. It's using its own dynamic driver, and you can really hear that. Yes, sometimes for some people it could be described as not really coherent, but at the same time it gives you this different speaker sensation that is a really good speaker for the bass area. So when you hear EDMs, when you hear pop music, you hear that the bass is really well controlled, and it's like having its own really high-grade subwoofer down there. When you hear EDMs, you hear pop music, you will always get your focus to the bass because the bass is just really good. While the mid-range, it's maybe I wouldn't say it's bad, but compared to the bass area, it's not as spatial as the bass, I should say. It is warm, it is really safe from any peaks, it's really safe from any shoutiness. It's just a really well controlled warm mid-range, but at the same time, sometimes for female vocal, it could lack a little bit of air frequencies. So for me, sometimes the female vocal could sometimes sound a little bit congested, but for a lot of music, I feel that I have no problem with that. It's just a really well controlled vocal with warmthness on it. But for me, the main weakness is on the treble area, because the treble itself is not really extended. I should say that the treble is inoffensive. It's not playing right forward to your face. It's not aggressive. It's really smooth, really well controlled. But sometimes if you play violin, if you play music with flutes on it, if you play music with a lot of cymbal crash, you will feel that the cymbals on this IM sounds a little bit congested and not as splashy, not as open as in the real world. For me, it just feels a little bit congested and a little bit smoothened sometimes. But nevertheless, again, this IM is definitely made for who loves this kind of genre, this kind of tonal balance towards more of a warmth, soothing, and also relaxing kind of tonality, but it accompanied with a really great bass texture and bass slam. Going to the technical part, I should say that I don't feel that this IM is really special. Okay, the soundstage itself is quite good actually. It's quite three-dimensional, but it's not really big and not really portraying a really grandiose room, for example like the Z1R. So I should say that it's not really bad, it's not really good either. It's just mediocre maybe at this price point. And also the separation, yeah, it's quite good, but we have the thin T3 Plus and also the Moondrop area, which I say that they are on the same level when it comes to technicality. So I wouldn't say that this IM is really special in the technical part. The main focus on this IM is definitely that soothing, warm kind of sound that will be good for a lot of people, a lot of genre, with that really great bass response. Okay, when it comes to comparison, I need to compare them with this T-Force Yuanli. I know that a lot of you will say, how is it compared to the Moondrop area, because the Moondrop area is one of the most famous IM around this price point. The Moondrop area for me is more neutral sounding compared to this Meteor. I know the Moondrop area is harmonish, it's not neutral, but compared to this IM, it is somehow sounds more neutral with less bass and also more sparkling treble. So when I hear them, I definitely feel that this IM is definitely more warmer. And then I find that one IM somehow it's quite similar to this IM, but somehow it's using only a single dynamic driver, and it is the T-Force Yuanli. So for me, they are both having a really similar tonal balance. That's quite strange. They both share a really good bass response, and also they have this kind of soothing mid-range warmthness that is similar to each other. But for me, the mid-range and also treble is somehow more extended and more open on the T-Force Yuanli, but the bass is more spatial. It's more, I could say it's a little bit more detached from the whole spectrum, but you get that kind of a subwoofer effect from this Meteor. So for me, if you want more coherence, you want more overall better sound balance somehow, but still in a warmth area, for me T-Force Yuanli is still better. But if you want more engaging sound, you like that subwoofer effect, you are a bass head, you need to try this Meteor because it's just that good. The bass is really addicting for me, and if you are a bass head, this is a really nice try. I wouldn't say that the bass is overwhelming, but the bass texture and bass slam is just really special. Okay, I think that's all for me. Let's talk about the pros of this IM first. For me, it's about the aesthetic, and also the ergonomics is just simply really well comfort in my ears, and also it has a really great warmth kind of tonality, and the tuning itself is inoffensive but quite exciting, especially in the bass area at the same time. But when it comes to weakness, for me the only weakness maybe it's about its lack of air in the treble area. And also if you are really sensitive to incoherency, yes, this IM is not the most coherent IM definitely. You can feel that the bass is somehow acting differently compared to the mid-range and treble area. But I think that's all for me. This is still a really great IM, this Meteor. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, please write down in the comments below, and see you next time. Bye bye.